G'day Weapons. Before we get started, a quick shout out to WA's premier regional running event, the Bunbury Three Waters Running Festival. Famous for its beautiful, flat and fast course, the Bunbury Three Waters Running Festival offers Indian Ocean views up Ocean Drive, dolphin spotting in Koombana Bay, fast racing around Big Swamp, and the challenge of the infamous Bunbury Lighthouse, or as we like to call it, the CHECKERED BASTARD. With distances from 5k to the marathon, it's the perfect event for everyone, whether you're a beginner looking for a friendly introduction to road racing or a seasoned runner chasing that elusive personal best. With personalised drink stations, on-course entertainment, and a finish line vibe that captures everything great about the regional WA running community, the Bunbury Three Waters Running Festival delivers an experience you'll remember long after your legs stop aching. So lace up, set your sights south, and make Bunbury your next race destination in April 2026. Find out more and enter now at runbunbury.com.au.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 0102. That is
What?
that is so so fucking weird to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with 102, right? Yeah, 0102 just sounds shit. But anyway,
it's why you've added a zero. You don't need to add a zero. We've got a while till we get to thousands.
Yeah. Matt doesn't host this podcast anymore, so yeah, no, we'll stick with 3 digits. But anyway, that's our last episode. This is our last episode for the year as we recap a year of running, whether it's PBs, blow-ups, or the brilliant people who make the WA running community the way that they are. Today, we're keeping it simple. A few reflections, a few stories, and probably a few things we'll regret saying in January. In local results, we've got the 6-inch marathon that was down south, along with Strive Program D, which featured the 800 metres and the 5,000 metres. We'll recap some notable weapons over 2025, along with our weekly weapons of warp. Across my screen is someone who is currently I guess rugged up in the cold and miserable weather of the UK. Vici Richardson, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Simon. Yeah, nice to be back. I had a bit of a false start last week, so I didn't make the interview, and Chris kindly stepped in. So yes, made it this week. Hopefully I will last the episode.
Hopefully no C words. I think we're trying to see if we could convince you to say the C word this episode, but we'll see how we go, right?
Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. All right. We'll settle with that. That'll do. Across the other side of my screen is, I'm going to try and think of intro. Someone who hopefully on the 14th of March will be consuming 24 soft serve ice creams. Chris the Metronome Shaw, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Getting the gut ready. I had a soft serve cone last night to start the great build. I guess if it were me, and I know Vicky's doing the last person standing with the running, maybe it should be a last person standing with the ice cream cones, going one more each week until the 14th of March. So
need to figure out
that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't fit in with my understanding of how Jimmy runs is going on a 500 calorie deficit for his training. So if I'm to beat Jimmy at Bunbury Marathon in 2026, I make sure I'm not going to be on a 500 calorie surplus for the next 3 months.
I mean, that would be a decent experiment, right? 500 calorie deficit versus surplus, see who wins.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's get straight into training weeks. Perhaps we'll start with you, Vicky. How's your training week? Perhaps how's your last couple of weeks, since it's been a couple of weeks since we've last spoke?
Yeah, not too bad. Week before last, I, in true me form, picked up a little bit of a niggle, which I think one of my, we'll come on to this in reflections, but one of the reflections I have for the year is when I feel a niggle, then maybe don't run for 24 hours and see if I can get rid of the niggle before I run again. And this time it worked, so that was good.
Nice.
So that was the week prior to last week where I did an elliptical session and threw that in instead of a run. This last week just gone, I managed to tick off all my sessions a bit, some of them a little bit kind of out of sync with where they were meant to be. Obviously, I mentioned last time we were chatting, it's cold and dark and miserable here at the moment, and there's not much daylight. So I am having to use the treadmill a little bit. I did do a nice run with my old running club. It was their Christmas fancy dress run on one of the nights last week, Tuesday. So that enabled me to run in the dark and feel safe. So that was good. It's been raining. I was just saying before we jumped on, it's been raining a lot here and it's very flooded everywhere. So it's difficult to find places to do like speed work and things like that. So I've been kind of dodging puddles and jumping puddles and just getting wet feet and muddy and but yeah, for a couple of key sessions last week. So I did a VO2 max session on Thursday, I think it was, in the rain, pouring rain. Felt very smug afterwards. And then on Saturday, I went across to my favourite park. I believe it is the biggest urban park in the Northern Hemisphere, Sutton Park, for anyone that knows it. It's beautiful. So it's my favourite spot to run around here. I went there to do park run and was meant to do a 3 by 4 minutes at tempo, but I kind of did 4 by 4 and then did the rest at VO2 max and finished the park run. And it was nice because it's a big crowd there. Like, it's a really good park run, like a good start line, a really long, like spread out start, which is nice. And you can really get going, but not flat at all. So actually more hilly than I remembered. But it was good. It was a good run. It was my best run for a while, actually. And then yesterday I did 20k again around that same park, Sutton Park. But yeah, at the moment I am very much running for my mental health because I'm here supporting my mum while she is in hospital, having had surgery. So that's quite hard, but the running is helping, and I really need to be able to keep doing it to keep me sane. So yeah, I think I did about 66 Ks last week and ticked off my last person standing week 12 as well. So yeah, it's a good week.
No special like edition of last person standing. It's just to get a solid 12 Ks in.
No special week last week. There was no challenge. I think the week before was elevation, and I just opted out altogether. I was like,
I mean, what do you get? Is there any like special perks for ticking off those challenges, or?
I think you get $50 if you win one of the challenges. So they just picked out of a hat the challenge weeks, and one was I think there was Strava Art. Oh, there was the smallest run footprint. I didn't win that one. I was very disappointed.
Really?
No, I didn't win. Somebody ran smaller than me running around the gazebo at Lake Monga. I don't know how. I think they like ran around a bucket or something. So I definitely didn't win the Strava Art week. No, and I knew I wouldn't win elevation, so I didn't even bother trying.
Right. And who did you know who won elevation off the top of your head?
No, I don't think they've announced an elevation yet. I think we're a little bit behind.
Definitely wasn't Matt McGuire, so that's for sure.
It wasn't Matt. No, I saw some big, I saw some crazy big elevations. I can't think what the biggest one was. I'll see if I can find it while you two chat. But that I well beyond what I could have done last week on a sore knee. So
yeah, fair enough. So we're approaching Christmas time, the silly season of the Christmas and New Year period. Are you much of a runner through this silly week, or do you kind of use it as a opportunity to chill out a little bit?
No, absolutely not. Everything continues as normal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm pretty sure I've got like a threshold session on Christmas Day, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to just do park run because I love doing a Christmas Day park run. So that's hopefully what I will do. See which one. Actually, there's a few that were cancelled on Saturday because they were flooded So I have to see which one is on,
fair
is
enough.
close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see on one of your runs the other day, Vicky, that you said, no wonder I didn't run as a child. Like, there's nowhere to run around here. So does that attribute to maybe the lack of direct access to nice running paths around where you are at the moment?
Yeah, it's just rubbish. It's rubbish. So I did my long run last week out in the around the villages. So it's like if I go out of the road that I live on here, or my mum lives on, and then turn right, I can head out towards some really lovely villages, and that's nice. Daytime, fine, as long as it's not foggy, because there's no pavement, so you're just running on country lanes, and I just don't think it's safe for me on my own to be running along there in fog or in any sort of like not great light. So great visibility. But yeah, like the other directions, it's just really grim. And I think with the flooding as well this week, it just made the paths even harder to find places that I could actually do speed work on. And I was just I did a VO2 max session, and I was just having to turn a lot of sharp corners. I was having to jump puddles. These are all my excuses for why I did not hit the pace that I wanted to hit once.
We're all about excuses.
But yeah, I know. So I was like, I'll just go around the tennis court and I'll just go over this bridge and around the corner. And it was just hard. But yeah, it's not a great spot for running. Hence why Sutton Park and the surrounding areas there, which is about 25 minutes drive from here, is lovely. And so probably just an easier spot to go to, get in the car and drive there and do my stuff there.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Well, 66 Ks for the week. I mean, that tops the charts in terms of the three of us. So still getting it done, Vicky, even though things might have been quite difficult and maybe not as nice places to run necessarily, but still getting the job done.
I bet it wouldn't be an hour's train, though, total. You will have racked up some good hours on the bike.
Not this week.
No? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. No, well, maybe I win then.
Yeah.
Take the win. All right, Chris, how's your week?
Yeah, good. So 62 kilometres, not 66. I did do 3 hours on the bike. So I got out for one long bike ride on Friday. But I just never got out for the second bike ride this week. So I managed to do I did a couple of sessions this week. I did a session on Tuesday. I ran kind of like a 10K steady effort with a cool down, a warm up and a cool down, which felt pretty good. Felt good to be running a little harder than easy for the first time, really, and at a prolonged effort. And then Thursday I did 3 by 3 minutes, followed by 5 by 1 minute, all of it with 1 minute rest. And I did that with our friend Lan Simon. So I warmed up with you, obviously, and down at Mugger, and did the session with Lan. I think Lan was keen to push me a little bit, knowing that I have been out of the game for a little while and maybe sensing a moment of weakness. But I managed to hold on to him, so that was good. He pushed me just as much as I pushed him, I think, so that was good. And we ended up, I think our last minute rep was a 256 per K minute. It was
very good.
It was we were really breathing pretty hard after that. So no, that was good. Got that done on Thursday. Then Friday was my long bike ride, and then I got out with Zane Walsh on Sunday for a long run for the first time in a long run for the first time in a couple of months. I think probably since like the end of October. So I did 21 Ks with Zane, just an out and back from Optus to Matilda Bay along South Perth, the north side foreshore, which was lovely. So, good to see Zane, good to have a chat, and good to have a long run. I'll tell you what, you spend a couple of months away from doing long runs, suddenly your legs aren't so crash hot anymore. 21 Ks felt like 40. I'll put it that way.
Pulled up a bit sore today.
I'm not sore, just tired yesterday. Like I went for a kick with George at the park in the afternoon, and it felt like I felt my groin felt the way that my groin felt after I did all my long run sessions before Gold Coast.
Yeah, sure.
So just I guess the muscles aren't up. Have had a bit of time off, and they're going to take a little while to build back up. So. But yeah, a good week. Glad to be running more frequently than I'm riding, and we'll see what happens this week. Just keep on moving on.
And so you pulled up okay post that session because it was a shortish session, but still pretty spicy nonetheless.
Yep.
So you pulled up okay, so that sort of gives you a bit of confidence heading into the new year.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've had no awareness all week. That's I did kind of the long run, the 2 sessions, and the bike ride. So and the gym on a couple of times. So yeah, I feel like there's a relative amount of intensity there. It's probably not quite as much time of exercise as I did the previous couple of weeks because I did miss a couple of bike rides. But no, I think I'm now just going to keep kind of ticking things up by 10% or so every week and just see where I land end of January, hopefully somewhere around 100 Ks or thereabouts from there. And then it'll be all in just hitting those threshold sessions and doing all that stuff ahead of, I guess, some half marathon sometime in May. I'm not sure which one it'll be yet, but it'll be Joondalup or HBF.
Surely HBF.
Surely HBF, Vicky, given the crew in this podcast. But that's my goal. I've never raced HBF really, so I would love to race that because I know there's a lot of depth in that run, and if ever there's a time to run a PB in the half marathon, that's going to be it. So that'll be the target, I think. But we'll see what happens. Again, I think Lan is sizing me up because he's aiming to come over at the same time in May, so he'll be running HBF, and he was sending me text. So what are you going to run for HBF next year? And I'm like, mate, I don't know. I'm still injured. Like, leave me alone.
What was I going to say? Rumor has it that Hayden Brook, who is penciled in as our 3-hour pacer for Bunbury, may or may not be injured.
Okay, well, so I might have another job to do.
Yeah. So 3-hour training run, and then
yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I'm looking at my year and thinking I want to do it smart, right? So, and I'm not. There's no real pressure on me to do anything. You know, I would like to run a half marathon PB, but if I don't, that's fine. I would happily take on that role to do that because I've talked about doing it already in the past. But I was happy to step aside for Hayden. But look, if it's me and Matt at the front lines on the 13th or 14th of April or something this year, then so be it. That's what I'll be doing. But I'd imagine that if that's the case, given where I'm at now, the likelihood of me running and racing properly at HBF is probably pretty slim. So I don't want to put pressure on myself after that to then go and push into doing that, and knowing that Transcend is in August. So I don't know. Just I'm kind of got no real aspirations, guys. I'm happy just to take things as they come and just see what happens. Maybe Rottnest Running Festival is in June. So maybe that's an opportunity to do something in the half marathon there, which is just a few weeks later, might give me a little bit more time. Yes, it's hilly, and it can be windy and wet, but I really enjoyed myself over there last year this year, would like to go over again if I can.
I think the plan is for a big Team Tina contingent to go next year, so be good going, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess the Todd Ingraham Trophy is still going to be there, so there'll be an opportunity for somebody to take that home this year. I think Max Davidson took it home this year, so maybe it would be great to see someone from Team Tina take that trophy home this year.
Very fitting.
Absolutely. Definitely. How about you, Simon? Big week, mate.
I've got actually. Hang on a second. Yeah. I've got a couple of questions for you, Chris.
Yeah, please.
You going back to your long run. You said that you found it was just a bit more tiring than it might have been, 3 months ago when you were full fitness. Do you take on fuel? Do you take on anything during that, like 21 Ks, or are you? And would you, if you were fit, or would that be kind of what's your threshold?
When I was running, like before Gold Coast, if I was doing like my typical Wednesday run would usually be about 20 Ks. So I would probably take a flask of water with a couple of scoops of Bix in it, so probably 60 grams of carbs. So that would be, I guess it wouldn't be a great deal of carbs per hour. It's just something to have in my. So I'd have breakfast, and then I'd have the 2 scoops, just to make sure I'm not, too drained at the end of the run. And that's what I had this week. I think I might have had 3 scoops. I can't remember. I didn't have any gels. I left the gels at home. I'm just wary that I've got 2 boxes of Bics up in the shelf there, and I'm burning through them faster than I would like. So I'll be trying to hold on to those for the longer rides, or because I took 3 out on my long ride on Friday. So those long rides, even the rides I take them out. So I'll have scoops in the Bics and in the flask, and then I would take three gels with me. So for example, the bike, I'd have a gel every hour, and every alternate half hour I'd have a sip of the mix. So it'd be a constant stream of carbohydrates there. Yeah.
Very good. Very sensible.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what it feels like to run when you're either on an empty stomach or you don't have enough fuel, and when you get to the back end of those runs and you're kind of feeling pretty drained, it just makes the rest of the day harder, I think.
Yes.
So I think it's important to fuel before, during, and as soon as possible after your runs, especially if they're sessions or long runs. So whereas I think a lot of people, easy runs, they'll run them fasted or on very light breakfast without any gels, which is I think completely reasonable. But my threshold kind of is about 90 minutes. Like if it's an easy run and it's 90 minutes or longer, then I'll try and take a gel at 45 minutes and then something kind of, or 30 and then 60, or a sip of the mix at something that's during those points. But
yeah, I would usually be about the same, I reckon. But since I've been here, I haven't been fueling during my longer runs, and I've been running. Like I ran for an hour and 45 yesterday. Didn't have anything, and I would if I was in a hotter climate for sure. But because I'm here, and I'm not feeling like I'm needing it as much, but I probably am. Not like maybe not hydration wise, but certainly like fuel wise, still using the same amount of energy. So yeah, I'm just interested.
Yeah, you probably naturally don't feel like it in the cooler weather, I would think.
No, maybe not. No.
Oh, cool. Simon, take us away.
It's been a shit week.
You sound tired, mate.
Yeah.
Look, I think I am. I think.
Are you still hungover from Saturday?
I feel like I was still drunk on Sunday, and I probably didn't sober up until Sunday afternoon, if that was an indication of my Saturday night. I think overall the week has been a reflection of, an accumulation of like many weeks of being very tired. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the time of year, starting to get warm. Work's been pretty full on this year, so it's sort of gone, although work right now isn't too busy, I think it's just being fatigue that's accumulated over the course of the year without much of a break, and not much of a break in running as well. So as much as I've enjoyed track, I feel like I'm not really recovering from them as quickly as I would have liked, because I wake up sore as if I'm doing 120k weeks. So although once I start jogging or when I do my easy runs, they do feel easy. I think it's when I'm doing the sessions and sort of hitting those threshold or faster sessions that I'm just really struggling. So Tuesday, so these are all my excuses in the lead up to, my Friday night, So Tuesdays, what did I have on Tuesday? I think it was 10 by minute with a 45-second jog recovery. So not much of a recovery in between those efforts. And it wasn't really hitting the paces that I'd like to be hitting in the lead up to Friday. And then Wednesdays, Thursdays were kind of easy jogs in the lead up to Friday. And then Friday night, I guess I'll recap Friday when we get into the Strive results. But Friday, I was just absolutely buggered. And the 5,000 meters was at 9 p.m. And it's just so hard to get yourself up for a 5K effort on a Friday night at 9 p.m. So kudos to the guys that ran really well on a Friday night. And then, because it was a shit race, I sulked for 2 days. So didn't go for a run on Saturday. I actually knew that I was probably going to take Sunday off, knowing that the Team Tina Christmas party was on Saturday night. But I didn't feel like running on Saturday, and I was not tempted in one bit to run again on Sunday. But probably in hindsight, like, it's probably not a bad thing to have 2 days rest, because I don't think I've had 2 consecutive days of rest in a very, very long time, unless I've been ill, which I don't think I've been too sick this year. But yeah, I went for a jog this afternoon and I still feel buggered. So maybe it's time to give this body a bit of a rest as the year wraps up. So
Simon, can I ask what the reason is for the race starting so late? Because there's only 2 races on that event, wasn't there? The 800
no, there was a shit ton of 200 meter heats.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why it ends up pushing it so late.
Yeah, I think there must have been 8, 9, 10 heats in the 200.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I think the 800 was quite early. I'm going to say 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then like a ton of 200 meters. And then it was a combined 5,000 meters. So yeah, I think 8:50, 8:55 was the start time. But I think, it's just, I think I've learnt that I probably won't do it again. Like any race, like a 3,000 and a 5,000 is always at that time, anywhere between 8:30 and 9. And I just don't know, like, I don't know how you would prepare yourself physically and mentally for it unless you take the day off and you just sleep in or something. I don't know.
It's not just the day though, is it? It's like you've had a big year to start with. You've had a full week at work by Friday night. It's coming up to Christmas. There's a lot going on that's on top of the normal day to day. I think you're maybe being a bit hard on yourself. Maybe you should be a bit kinder to yourself, because I just think I think everyone's feeling a bit like that at the moment. It's like, end of the year.
Yeah, true. I mean, 9 p.m. is a funny race because it feels like you're twiddling your thumbs just waiting for this race very late at night. I was speaking to Max, who did really well on Friday night. He took the day off, but he was like, "Oh, I was so bored today, like just waiting for this thing at 9 p.m." So I feel like there's no good way to approach it really. But it is what it is. I think. I was brewing. I couldn't sleep that night anyway. So yeah, because it's a 9 p.m. race, by the time I got home, it was probably like 10:30-ish. And then I was just lying in bed until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. basically. So I didn't really sleep very well on Saturday. But yeah, I don't know what the plan is after.
I guess the other thing as well is doing a race at that time of night. You probably do need to do some element of training your body to race at that time of night.
That time,
how would you? I think that would be quite difficult. I remember here when I used to live here in the UK, and my dad was a runner, and there's quite a few evening races here, and they start like 7:30, and he would always say to me, "You train at the time you race."
Of course,
so you do your and like that's fine. It's an okay time to run. Most club runs here are the sort of start 7-ish, and so you can. But I guess ideally your body, you would be getting your body used to starting a race or starting a session maybe occasionally at that time of night, and then you perhaps go into it with a bit more preparation.
Yeah, I think that'd be my learning. I used to do my Tuesday sessions at night out of necessity. So whether or not if I did more of those, that would have made a difference. But I think, the reality was I was sort of too tired, and I never really got into it really. So it was what it was. But it does, I'll probably still use this break to try and figure out what I want to do, because I think it is a 5K monkey that's still on my back for quite some time. So we'll see how we go. But I'm trying. I was looking at Strava a couple of hours ago. I think I'm within 80 Ks of 4,500 Ks for the year. So that'll just be my aim between now and the 31st of December to try and hit the 4,500. That's the aim. And then initially I'd penciled in track on the 9th of Jan and then backing up with another 800, but I don't know if I want to still do that at this point in time.
The death of Daddy Trackstar.
Yeah. RIP DTS 25-26. Don't know. We'll see. Well, I've got Powerlift this Friday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got Powerlift this Friday. Yep. And then that'll be it for the year. And then, we'll see if I'm motivated to do the 1500 and the 800 again, just purely because I think I can do a better time if I paced it correctly. But then if it's going to like screw me over with training, because I don't think I've ever, like I haven't gone through a proper training period post Melbourne. Like I've just done all the races. So, maybe I need to not race for a while and really recover or train properly or whatever it is what I'm thinking.
Well, you look at, say, like, for example, Jack Rayner ran and won Melbourne Marathon in October, same day you ran it. And then he went out and ran the 10K at Zatopek last week and had a terrible race. So it probably goes to show that, running a marathon in October and then trying to run track in December isn't really, they're probably not, there's not enough time, to build the base and do all the specific work that you might need to do for a 1500 or an 800 or a 5K. So maybe with more training over the next month or two leading February, March, maybe there's a 5K there that might be better suited timing wise for you to run, whether it be on the road or on the track. But you'll have an extra 2 or 3 months of training under your belt, and you will have, been able to build all the speed that you probably haven't got in your legs because you're still, you're probably not recovering now, but you probably spend a good 4 to 6 weeks recovering from Melbourne without necessarily really feeling like it.
That's true. And if Jack Rayner can't do it, then I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing I was going to ask you is obviously work's been very busy for you of late, given you're basically working 3 roles. Have you been fueling properly?
It's a good question. I'd say in short, no, not as much as I would have liked. I feel like if I am fueling, I'm fueling with the wrong foods, to be honest.
What about Ella's biscuits? They must have helped.
Yeah, look, her Christmas crack was pretty delicious. It was a good post-run snack, but nice. I don't know if it's good fueling for my running necessarily. Look, literally, I am just eating junk food constantly. And if it's not junk food, it's basically snacks just to get me through the work day. So that's probably got something to do with it, right? Because everything's been garbage, like from a running point of view. So I think if I can hopefully work sort of subsides a little. I've got 3 weeks off actually after this Wednesday. So that'll give me some time to recalibrate a little bit and get back into routine with eating. And hopefully that should be okay. I think as we're talking, I do think I'll pull out of the 15 and the 800. It's just a distraction of my training. So I either rest, recuperate, or I just get in some consistent training. That might be the game plan. Yeah.
Maybe getting to the track still and doing some sessions in the spikes might still be beneficial for you if you can manage to get access somehow. But
look, running, midday at 35 degrees would be amazing.
Yeah,
I feel like you two are two extremes. Like Simon, you've gone from two marathon training blocks, like a big year, and 2 marathon training blocks into a track season.
Yeah.
And if race. Chris, you said the other week you only race. You don't race enough, and you potentially should race a bit more, and perhaps not just wait until you feel very confident that you can PB, but just race to race. So you're opposite ends of the spectrum between the two of you.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's very different.
We lost our identity after Gold Coast Marathon, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's pivot to the year that was in 2025. Maybe what we could do, because we've got a bunch of questions here, maybe we'll just go round robin and just go one person, one question. So maybe we'll start with you, Vicky, with first question. So what surprised you the most about your running this year?
I think probably not so much about my running, but about myself. I think I've never made any secret of the fact that I use running for my mental health. I think this year in particular, that's been incredibly important and more important than ever. I think, but what I also am is very competitive and very goal driven. So, but I haven't got a single PB this year, and I've gone. No, I was looking back at my goals that I set every year for myself, and some are just life goals and some are running goals. One of them was a sub 20-minute 5K, and I still haven't done it. And you know what?
We still have 8 days left.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. No, not going to happen. And you know, I don't even care. I'm like, if running needed to be for me this year, something that helped me look after myself, and that's what it's been, and served me very well. So that's probably, it's not really a surprise about running, but I love it. I've always loved it, and I continue to love it more and more. And it just kind of is the thing that shows up for me when I need it. So yeah, just we'll get onto it probably. We'll come on to learnings, and I definitely have learned a lot. But I think the more I can look after myself so that I can continue to run, and that might be running to run a PB, or it might be running just because I want to enjoy it. And yes, because I can, because I enjoy it. Then I think that's the most important thing for me.
Beautiful. All right. We'll move over to you, Chris. So was there a moment this year that reminded you why you love running?
Reminded me, I would say that, I don't know, just when I was on holiday in the middle of the year, it was after we'd done Gold Coast and then Transcend, and so I guess just running for the joy, a bit like you, Vicky, to be honest, like just enjoying easy running and running in new places and using running as a way of discovering new cities or new trails or whatever it might be. I guess there were moments out there when I was running in Europe that were pretty special in terms of like just being out somewhere by myself and knowing that, you know, I'm able to do this, and like I've trained really hard over the course of 3 or 4 years, and I've worked hard to be able to afford to go on holidays and just being grateful for those kinds of things. So yeah, it was just just a couple of moments while I was away that were pretty special. But how about you, mate? Anything to you that surprised you about your running or was particularly special for you?
I'd say being able to achieve the goals that I had set at the start of the year. I think there was still a lot of doubt of whether or not I could run a sub-3 marathon at the start of the year. And it was the start of the year where I was trying to hit sub-18 5K and I didn't hit it. And then, pivoted to the marathon from Feb and, got really excited when training for Gold Coast really, went really well, and was getting really cocky and confident that, no, not only will I hit sub-3, I'm going to smash it. I'll get low 250s. And then, when that didn't happen in Gold Coast, I think my confidence was a bit shattered as a result of it. But I think what I was surprised about in myself was getting back on the horse again and training smarter and approaching the marathon, and I suppose respecting the marathon, and not being as cocky and confident as I was heading into Gold Coast. And I actually don't think training went as well as it did in the lead up to Melbourne, like it did for Gold Coast. But I think yeah, I think that was the biggest learning and surprise for me, was being able to still achieve it. And despite the shatter in confidence, being able to, I guess, get my mind and body ready for back-to-back marathons. And yeah, it was a very enjoyable experience as a result.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously kudos to you. You got it done in the end. But I think, like, you know, that's what sets you apart from the likes of Suspicious Aloysius, you know, like being able to, you know, actually, okay, you didn't hit the goal at Gold Coast, but you actually then applied yourself for a further, you know, 2 or 3 months, which after you've already done that for 3 or 4 months, to have to do it all over again and basically looking for the same goal. Yeah, that takes a lot of patience and a lot of drive. So, you know, to be able to get it done again, and you know, you said it yourself when you recapped Melbourne. Like, there were moments there where it wasn't easy, and so you overcame those moments that you couldn't overcome at Gold Coast. So yeah, that's personal growth, and you know, obviously not just the training might not have been as good ahead of Melbourne, but granted, you just trained for 4 months for Gold Coast, so you're probably tired, you know.
True.
So yeah, awesome, and you know, I know sub 18 was a goal, like you said, but and you know, you didn't have a great run on Friday night, but I don't think that's any true reflection of where your fitness is at. It's probably just, yeah, like you say, I don't want to run at 9 p.m. at night, so I'm not sure why you do.
Yeah, no, I think there was like some strong regret in the lead up to the race on Friday. God, why the fuck did I choose paid to do this?
Yeah.
All right. Vicky, if you could replay one run from this year, good or bad, what would it be and why?
Well, there's so many, but I'm going to go for a positive one, which is the cross-country race that I did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, okay.
I used to show up for cross-country as the cross-country manager / committee member of my running club 10 plus years ago. And I pretended I loved it, and I didn't love it. I hated it. It was it was painful, and it was horrible, and it was scary, and it was all those things. And it was cold, and I turned up at that race on Sunday, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it, because I said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. And I honestly, genuinely loved it more than I reckon I've loved any other race this year.
Beautiful.
Not to take away from how incredible Sydney was, because that was awesome, and other races that I've done through the year, but there was just something about sloshing through puddles and being absolutely covered in mud, and then I was shouting to people in the same club vests as I don't even know any of them anymore, but shouting to them, like shouting at other girls around me, like we were having a chat, we were like, you know, just nattering away, and I was like, oh, I'm from Australia, I don't run in this sort of stuff, and they were like, oh really? Just having a nice chat, and then get into the one section of the course towards the end where everyone was in spikes and I was in trail shoes, and it was bridle way, and I literally just smashed it down the bridle way and managed to like overtake about 4 people, and it just made me feel so good. So that gives me that competitiveness, that like drive and goal that I need on the other side of the running for my mental health, running for the enjoyment. But I absolutely loved it, genuinely, like it was proper joy in that.
Amazing.
So yeah,
beautiful.
I'll do that again in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
beautiful. I mean, you kind of wish that there was more of a cross-country scene here in WA, but perhaps we just don't have the weather or the terrain to be able to do it, to pull it off.
No, I think it would be really hard to create the same sort of feeling as that. I don't know. But yeah, it would be awesome. I know that the Easy Double guys talk a lot about cross-country and how it would be brilliant to have more of a scene in WA, regardless of what the weather is like, what the terrain is like, just for that the clubbiness of it. It's a real different feeling of, you know, everyone's together in their singlets and they're all matching, and you're all standing together at the start, and you know, sussing out where you're going to be and jostling for position, and it's quite, you know, it's a bit elbows, and not that I'm at the front doing that, but like the guys are definitely, and it's just good fun, really good fun.
Beautiful. How about you, Chris?
I'd probably I'd probably rerun my half marathon at Bunbury, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I was reflecting on this with you the other day about how I approached that run, and a goal for me at the start of the year was like you had an 18-minute 5K. Mine was to run an 80-minute half, and so I think I set my sights on that number and didn't. The training probably was not landing where it needed to be in order to be able to achieve that goal. I was probably close, but I don't think I was comfortably able to do it. And so going out at that pace, regardless of whether or not I knew I probably wasn't going to do it. Like if there's like Vicky, you said earlier, like I don't race until I know that I am in a position to PB. And yes, that race was a PB for me, like by 2 minutes or something. But it at the time, I probably should have aimed for something, 1:20:30 or 1:20:45 as a goal, and had a good race rather than go out at 80-minute pace, blow up after 8 or 9 Ks, and then really suffer through the last 12 Ks. So, if I was to do it again, I'd probably run that race a bit smarter. And I think, but the beauty of running a bad one is that you can then reflect on what you did wrong. And then apply that to another race. And so fortunately I had that experience at Bunbury, which then gave me a pretty good grip of where my body was at for Gold Coast. If it wasn't for that experience, maybe my Gold Coast experience mightn't have been so good. So that's what I would do. I'd choose to run that race again. Smarter.
Yeah. I think for me, I would rerun Joondalup. So Joondalup half this year. So that's where I ran my half marathon PB of what was it, 1:21:15. I recall a conversation I had with Tina maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior, going, "Oh, do you reckon I'm in sub 82-minute shape?" And Tina gave me an answer that indicated that I wouldn't be. And I kind of used that as motivation and fuel to go, well, respectfully, Tina, fuck you, I reckon I could. And I think I told you guys that. And then I think the morning itself was absolute mint conditions. Like it was perfect. And I think even David Perich gave me a bit of fuel that morning to go, surely you can go sub 82. Like it'd be a horrible day if you couldn't. And I think he was just saying that just to egg me on. But yeah, it was like the perfect race. Like went out at 3:52s. That felt really comfortable. And I think I said at the time, my last 10 Ks, I ran that in 38 minutes, which it wasn't that long ago where my 10K PB was 37:50. So I was only 10 seconds slower running the last 10 Ks of the half. So kind of ran it perfectly. I didn't really have a group that I was running with. I just caught up to Loz and I caught up to John, who also trains with Team Tina, and kind of used that to just slowly chase people down towards the finish, and perhaps had a little bit in the tank at the end, which is a good indication that I had a pretty awesome race. So I would replay that run all over again. It's probably why I have a strong connection to Joondalup Half, because it's my local long run. So I know it inside out. And I think 3-4 years in a row, it's been perfect conditions. So it will serve me well, I think, next year when I give the half marathon a crack. Next year, I think, bad race, Gold Coast. I think if I was to rerun a bad race, it'd be Gold Coast, but probably similar to you. Like if I didn't have such a shit race, maybe, Melbourne wouldn't have gone as well as I did. I think if I was to rerun Gold Coast again, I'd be telling myself to give myself a fucking break when things got hard and just chill the fuck out and not feel that pressure to maintain a pace that I couldn't hold based on the conditions and what I was feeling. But like you said, it was learning for the next race. So
it's a bit like, you'd never talk to a friend like you talk to yourself. if your friend was struggling like that in a race, you wouldn't be, shit talking them.
Yeah.
You would be kind to them. You would say, it's all right. I know you've done all the training. It's just not your day. You're not good in the humidity. It's like, whatever the reason.
Whatever it was, yeah.
You'd never be the way that you are to yourself, to a friend. And you have to keep that in mind sometimes, that we should be a bit kinder to ourselves when things don't go to plan.
Yeah,
That's
agree. I think that would be my biggest learning this year, I think, in my running. All right. Vicky, what's reminded you about why you love being part of the WA running community?
I don't think I need reminding, but what I do think is that I think it goes from strength to strength. I absolutely love it. And I think coming back here as well makes me realise how lucky we are to have such a great small community in Perth. And, sometimes if you look at the whole of Australia, perhaps you might go, with cross country as an example, we miss out on things in Perth. I think we're actually starting to miss out on less in Perth. Brands, big brands, shoe brands are coming and doing wear tests at every run club going. There's run clubs popping up all over the place. There's great social run clubs like the Social Run Club, which meets in Trigg on a Wednesday night, I think. Mark Peppers is, I think, the guy that started it. And they've done this awesome thing that I've seen on social media this week, where they've supported this guy that walks his dog along the coastal path and high fives everyone, and they've started profiling him a bit, and now they've raised some money for him so that he can pay his vet's bills, because his dog's got to have some treatment. And the kindness of it, and it's not about racing or running or getting PBs, it's about people just helping each other out and being there for each other. And he's not even a runner, he's just a guy that high fives all the runners, and he's lovely, really lovely. So I think that coming back here and kind of chatting to a friend yesterday, and she was saying, there's a shop in Derby that does they do these wear tests where the brands come out and they bring all the shoes and you can try them in any size. And I was like, we have them all the time in Perth.
That's every fortnight.
Yeah, every week at the running centre. I think it's great. And I also love the fact that there is obviously room for all these podcasts as well. So we are one. I won't talk about where we are in the polling or the positioning of the WA podcasts, but second. But I think the fact that there are that many people that are engaging with us and with other podcasts and, interested to hear from other runners and, listen to each other's stories and learn. And, I think it's a great community. And I also love the fact, I've mentioned it so many times already today, but I do like the fact there's a little bit of healthy competition, whether that's between the podcasts, whether it's between the clubs, whether it's between, the shops and the brands. And I think it's, and obviously the runners as well. But I think it's, we've got a really good thing going, and I'm really excited to see it go from strength to strength in the next year.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've just loved being involved in obviously this podcast and the opportunity that's granted us to be able to engage with, the running centre and BIX, but, their support has allowed us to basically do these training series things that we've been doing all year. And so it's just great to, be a part of those and in particular that one we did for Bunbury was pretty special. I guess it was the first one, and but there was something about engaging with that regional community. I think it was particularly special, and I guess just the gratefulness that they had for what we were doing for their event. Without really any interaction or impetus to do so. I think you and I, Simon, just loved it so much that we thought, fuck it, we'll just do a training series about these guys. And getting to know, locals like Hannah and Ash through that, and then that's kind of carried on through every training series that we've done since, and just being able to find out so much about all these people that are training for lots of different goals. I mean, everybody's so interesting, and everybody has, like, you know, there are people out there listening who are supporting these people and wanting them to get the best out of their races. So yeah, it's, I guess that just is a testament to the fact that everybody deep down is a pretty good person, even if they do say some naughty things about us from time to time.
I would echo you both. I think, look, a year ago, we barely knew anyone in the running community, Chris. And then it probably wasn't, you know, if it wasn't for this podcast, we wouldn't have met you, Vicky. Probably would have known you at some point, but, you know, the podcast kind of, you know, sped that up. And
would have forced my way into your lives.
Yeah, one way or another. Like, yeah.
Just like we did with Matt Maguire and Dan and Sinead. Yeah,
yeah, you know, with you know, 50 memes, they were sure to buckle. But yeah, just really appreciating the opportunity, being able to talk to, you know, guys that are way out of our league in terms of, you know, ability, and how down to earth they are. And then us still being able to talk to just various different personalities in the W running community, and, you know, the commonalities and the reasons why we run and how we fell in love with running and stayed in the running scene is all very, very similar. So I think that's what I'm reminded of every time we do this every week is, you know, just the opportunity to meet different people, all different walks of life. And although some will run really fast or some, you know, not so fast, but they run for different reasons. It's pretty cool to be able to have a community that is awesome. And, you know, 99.9% of people are, you know, genuinely good people. And that's what we sort of found in sort of this. So I hope that still continues, into the new year. All right. We've been going for 57 minutes, so we'll just quickly wrap this up. All right, quickly, Vicky, best running-related purchase of this year.
Oh, God, I haven't got a quick answer to this. Have you got an answer? You better jump in.
I'll go. A heart rate monitor was my favourite. David Newen will love to hear that, but a heart rate monitor was my favourite purchase of this year, simply because it, not that I use it during my runs, but I use it as a means of kind of checking everything retrospectively in the lead up to Gold Coast. I think when I got it after or just before Bunbury half and then used it all the way up to Gold Coast, it was a really good training tool. I've now lost it somewhere in Fremantle, but so maybe Santa will bring me a new one, but I guess we'll wait and find out.
Very good, very good. All right, I'll give you some thinking time, Vicky.
I've got one now ready.
Oh, you got it? Okay. My favourite purchase is probably the Puma DV8 Nitro Elites. I think before trying them on and just seeing the marketing of those shoes, I just went, fucking hell, it's a high rock shoe. It can't be any good. But it is very, very good. And so I've got 2 pairs of those that I alternate between workout sessions and races, and yeah, they work a treat. They fit my fat feet, and they make me go fast. So that's probably my best running related purchase. But I'd say this year I've moved away from going to Gym Kid, buying Mizuno Wave Riders for $109, and I've become a bit of an elitist, buying a shoe rotation, which I didn't think I would do until this year. So credit cards taken a bit of a hit this year. How about you, Vicky?
Mine is a gym membership, and also maintaining a gym membership while I'm here as well.
Very good.
I have one of my goals for this year was to do 2 strength sessions a week, and I reckon that for 75% of the year ish, I've managed to do that. So cool. Tick, one goal ticked. It's so important for me, and like I honestly do not think I could run without doing that week in, week out, and I hate it. Probably hate it less now than I did in January, and I have to force myself sometimes still. But really vital to me. And I was watching a YouTube, one of Philly Bowden's YouTube videos the other week, and while I was on the treadmill actually, and she was talking about things to do to manage injuries, and she said have a response plan. And the response plan is when you get, like I was saying earlier, when you get a niggle or you get something that you're not quite sure about, you need to have something in place so that you know exactly what your response to that is going to be. So it might be no running for 48 hours. It might be swap out a run for a swim or whatever. And I think that's something that I have learned and is starting to kind of instill itself in me this year after having quite a few hiccups in my running. So gym membership is my number one purchase and will continue to be.
Very good. Excellent.
So my response of running 27 Ks over the hills after having a really sore ITB wasn't the right thing to do. I found that out.
My response of getting 26K into a 36K training run on a very, very painful calf that kept just getting worse, but then suddenly got better, was not to run another 10K on it, and was to stop, but I didn't, and then I stuffed myself. So we live and learn.
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, do the hills still pay the bills, Chris, or are you still a believer of that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be back there. I'd say not too far. Maybe as early as as the first week of next year, I'll be back doing hill sessions or hilly runs. So, yeah, just got to be safe about it. Don't be silly.
Yep. All right. Last question. How do you see your 2026 shaping up from a running point of view, Vicky?
Probably much the same again. I would like to make the start line of Herdies. That would be awesome. I'm gonna run a sub 20-minute 5K in 2026. I think I'm gonna try that. Just for something new, you know. And I just think like probably all the things I've just said, making sure that they're consistent, and then I'm a bit more sensible. And when I pick up a niggle or an injury, just to respond to it accordingly, and just keep enjoying it. But yeah, my goals are Herdies. I want to do Herdies one more time, and I don't want to ever do it again. So let's go big or go home. And then I've got Gold Coast, which I keep forgetting that I've entered, but I'm pretty sure I did enter it.
Oh, you've entered. Nice.
Yeah, I entered. Yeah, I did. I was one of those people who
you kept that very, very quiet.
Oh, I think I forgot.
Okay.
So everyone sat there for hours trying to get on, and then I woke up to a barrage of messages having completely forgotten that the entries had opened at like 2 a.m. my time, maybe, or 3 a.m. So I woke up at 7, 6, whatever time it was, went on, registered straight away, no problem, straight through.
Great service in England.
Pays to be a bit behind in time. So those are my two main goals at the moment, I think. And I might put my name in for Valencia as well, just to do a European marathon later in the year. It's a bit of fun.
Awesome.
You'll be joining Tina. Tina's going to do it again.
Is she? Yeah. I don't know whether it's a ballot, so I'm not sure whether I'll get in, but I'll give it a crack.
Very good, very good. All right, Chris, 2026, your goals?
I'm not going to say there's any real goals. I'm just going to say I'm going to be relentlessly consistent, and I'm going to be very fucking fit come June. So, transcend, but middle of the year I'll be fitter than I've ever been. So,
very good, very good. My 2026, no marathons, though. We'll see once the first barrage of marathons start coming through in April with Bunbury, Ballarat, and so forth. But yeah, I think hopefully that will be freeing for me, not having to worry about the mileage and the relentlessness of the marathon grind. Just get fast, really. So 5, 10, half, it's kind of the goals, really, to get those times down. I can't remember if I said it on the podcast, but I'd love to go under sub 78 minutes which might tempt me to do a marathon in 2027. Slowly working up the courage to ask Linda about a 2027 Japanese marathon. She's currently 10 episodes behind, so she doesn't know anything yet.
Well, she'll know in March. We're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, Linda, 2027 Japanese marathon. All right, we've gone for over an hour, so let's smash through some results. We've got the Strive Program D that was on the 19th of December. So key races were the 800 and the 5,000 meters. So in the 800, we had in the women's Billy Page Richardson, relative? No?
Nope.
Nah. In
From
2
a name.
minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes 13. She was under 15, so very, very quick there. Sarah Hines coming second in 2:13.65 and Ebba Wahlberg in 2:16.17. And in the men's, we had Tom Moorcroft in a blistering time of 1:51.94, Anthony Giselli in 1:52.95, and Oscar Clements in 1:53.42. The 5,000 meters that was late, we had Nikhil Redapalli in 15:21. I joked with Nikhil before the race that hopefully he doesn't overtake me 3 times. He managed to overtake me twice. Very blistering there. Jacob Howard came second in 15:30 and Max Davidson in 15:35. Very quick from Max, I think. Huge PB for him in the lead up to the State 5,000 champs in a month's time, which he's planning on doing. And I think he's planning to do Boston.
I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's his plan. And then in the women's, we had Sinead running a time of 16:31, Ella B. Hansen in 17:57, and Madeline Taylor in 18:24. So I think Sinead was also hoping to go 16 mid, so she was able to get that done. And I think she was kind of leading the pack, the 16:30 pack for a huge chunk of it. So she was doing a lot of work. So I think she'd be very, very happy with that. I've put there my D Brave. So shit race. What was my game plan heading into it? So I was hoping in my head to do anywhere between 17:20 and 17:40. I can't remember what that translated to in terms of laps, but then when I saw Ella B signed up and it was a mixed race and she submitted a time of 17:46, I went, all right, maybe I'll just sit with Ella B and then hopefully she can do all the work and I'll overtake her at some point in the race. And then I enjoyed the first 200.
So gentlemanly of you, Simon.
Yeah.
What a prick.
Yeah, totally. Like, I made no secrets about it. I think I was talking to Chris Gould because he was there watching his son race. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to sit behind Ellaby for most of it. But, that didn't last long anyway. So after the first 200 meters, I was struggling. It was just never really got into it. I was hitting the paces probably for the first 5 laps, but I just hated it from the get-go. And I was breathing very heavily. And there were probably moments where I was just wanting to just step off the course, but kind of, persisted in the end. And it was kind of like a struggle to the finish for the most part. So apparently there was a commentator. I didn't realize that's how much pain I was in. So, but yeah, look, I think, some swift times from everyone. It felt quite muggy and there was quite windy in the back, straight a little bit, but, that wasn't really an excuse I could use, I don't think. So, it was kind of my race, really. So it was just good that some of the other guys had a good race. I think if I didn't know anyone else, it would have been a miserable drive home. But I think, thankfully, I knew a good bunch of people that was racing, so kind of meant that I wasn't as disappointed for very long soon after the race. It was good that, Max and Sinead, Piero had a pretty good race. He was also racing, so he was fortunately the oldest person in the race, which was good.
Where did Piero land in terms of time?
I think he was 17:09. So I think he was hoping for 17 or sub 17, but 17:09 was his final time. So it wasn't too bad. I don't know if I'll do another 5,000 on the track again. I pulled up okay, but because I never felt comfortable, I don't know if I'd want to attempt it again. It's just trying to find a 5K road to get it done again.
Maybe you could, if you weren't going to jump into the January event, you could perhaps be my pacer.
I could. I'd be happy to.
You'd maybe, I don't know, see how you go. Perhaps we all sort that out.
Well, I think as you alluded to, maybe in the notes here somewhere, Simon, that January event may not be actually happening. Is that true?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I was trying to register for it and I can't see it anywhere. So you can register to be part of the State 5,000 champs, but there's no community run advertised one bit. So I did message Athwest and they haven't got back to me. It might not be happening.
We need some more races on the track, I think. Maybe a 5K women's track event at some point in the future.
Sometime in March, right?
So, yeah.
Yep, maybe.
Exactly.
Planning is happening.
Fantastic.
Still to be announced, but yeah.
Well, Simon, being Simon, he'll race in the women's race, and he'll sit on the back hoping for a PB.
Yeah, he will. Okay, down.
I mean, aren't you organising it? You're all out, right? All right, let's move on to this 6-inch trail marathon, Chris.
Yeah, cool. So I guess there was so many people I saw pop up with this on the weekend that I hadn't expected to be out there, but no, good on everyone for doing it. 23K, the male was won by Will Clifton in 1:42.27, followed by Joseph Coleman in 1:44.16, and then our mate Jack Beacock, with no time registered there on the results, but I'm sure Jake wasn't far behind Joseph. Female race was won by Annika Keel in 2:07.33, followed by Lucy Spanswick in 2:10.03, and then coming in third was Claire Schweier in 2:13.20. Jamison Hick won the men's race, so the 46K in 3:52.59, which is, I think, 5:03 pace. Andrew Walker came in second in 3:57, and then Nathan Fawkes in 4 hours and 54 seconds. Petra Geragine won the women's in 4:08.30, probably a regular winner of trail races all over Perth. The mighty Hannah Paget came in second in 4:15.13. doing Bunbury proud, and then Martha Malore in 4:24 coming third. Special note to Jess Reynolds, who came fourth, 4:27. I'm not sure why she's listed there, but somebody on this podcast has put her in the notes.
No, I don't know, Jess, but the third placed female didn't have a time for her half split, so I was querying whether she actually went through halfway or not. So that was why I dropped that in. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Martha, who was third, if that is all legit and above board, but it just didn't show up in the results. So not sure what happened there.
Well, that one's going straight to the OMTIU, that's for sure. Now, Vicky, you've got a whole bunch of shout-outs here because I know like about 6,000 people from Yellow ran this race on the weekend. Do you want to give them a shout?
It was a Yellow weekend away, yeah. Yes. We've got avid listener and Wolves, Yellow, Team Tina, Andy Carrington came in 5 hours. Also from a combination of Yellow and Team Tina, there was Adam, Scott, Veronica, the Bartons, so Michael Barton, who's a Yellow runner, and his daughter Phoebe also did it. I would think that's probably her first ultra, maybe. Did a very respectable time more than respectable time of 5 hours 23. Murray from Team Tina as well, and Mark Griffiths, who I know runs down with Chris Lark quite a bit. And he's always out pacing different races. And then friend of the show, previous guest, Kate Timmons, also finished the race this year that she spoke about on the podcast when we interviewed her, where she ran from the from the start to the finish to the start again before the race, and then didn't finish the race itself on the day when she was doing the triple. So she went and finished it this year. So well done, Kate.
We had Hannah Paget record a quick recap of the race yesterday, and if all goes to plan, this is her and not me dubbing myself pretending to be Hannah. Here is Hannah.
Hello, just at the finish line of 6 Inch here. It's been another beautiful day, cooler than the last few years, I think, which is fantastic for everyone. As usual, off to the sound of bagpipes at 4:30 in the morning in the dark, straight up a lovely long hill. Fantastic course as usual. A few changes this year. I think the Bunbury itself has been rerouted in some sections, so a little bit more single trail, which was lovely and flowy. Escalator, I think after last year being smoothed off, is back to its incredibly rutted out self. Everyone enjoys that little challenge. Other than that, a beautiful day. Everyone seems happy. Bit of course confusion out there today with some of the rerouting. I bumped into a few people who had gone off course and found their way back a number of times. I myself found myself confused a couple times, but managed to make it, and even at one point chasing a guy down because he missed an arrow. But I got him, and I got him back on course, so all's well. I had a really nice run myself. I think I started off a little bit more modestly than last time, and it was good to be able to finish a bit stronger than usual. So coming in around 4:15, about the same time as last time, but I think the course is a little bit longer, so quite pleased with my result as well.
Thank you, Hannah, or me. In terms of, actually, before we go to upcoming events, just out of interest, Vicky, I'm throwing you under the bus here. How do you say Scott's last name?
Colhagen.
Yes. I reckon it is Colhagen. Very good. Please correct us, Scott.
He definitely listens as well, so I'm sure he will be happy to critique me.
Yeah. And then very quickly, I think Jake's time was 1 hour 51. So well done, Jake. In terms of upcoming events, we have Parloof Relay this Friday, the 26th of December, at a very convenient time of 9:30 a.m. So if you can't make it, that is unfortunate. But yeah, the Parloof Relay was a topic of conversation at the Team Tina Christmas party. Rumour has it that Loz French and Shaf Bari have signed up to be a mixed relay, which is currently fucking ruining my chances of getting a podium at the mixed relay, which is unfortunate. And I think I've also heard that Dan Bowbridge and Savannah Rayner is also potentially signed up. So it might be a bit of a Team Tina affair this coming Friday. I think that's it for running events for 2025. I know there's a bunch of PTS events in the new year, which we don't have listed in the notes. Probably should. And then we've got this state 5,000 champs later on the 24th of Jan. Hopefully there's a community run. It's not looking likely. And that's very sad.
We could all just show up in numbers and storm the capital, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll wait for Aths West to approve any future track runs.
Is there any what's the qualifying criteria for running the state 5,000 metre championships?
I actually don't know if there was any.
I mean, could I just turn up and go, I would like to run on the track, please, for a race. Here's my money.
As long as you're registered under a club or as an independent, I think you can do it.
It's an expensive endeavour, but I feel like there isn't a qualifying time to make the state champs. So as long as you do the whole club thing, register for the event and wear spikes.
That's what Mags did a couple of years ago. He wasn't a member of a club or anything at the time, but he wanted to race it, so he had to join. He joined as an independent, which I think is what you've done, Simon, and then he signed up for the race. So I think a 5K on the track ended up costing him about $150.
Oh, okay. I don't want my sub. I don't want my sub 20-minute 5K that much. I'll just go to Jude Law.
Yeah. Very good, very good. All right, let's quickly go to Warp admin Simon Says. So in the past week, we had the Marathon Club announce the Half Marathon Grand Slam by WAMC. So if you run Darlington, which I think is on the same day as Hurdy's, Joondalup, which is a week before HBF, Perth Half, which is the start of August, and Freo Running Fest sometime in November, you get a special medal. And I feel like this is going to be a sucker for a lot of people wanting to do all four and getting a fancy medal. So very well done, Marathon Club, for doing that. And then the other thing I've got here is we're starting to form the Team Warp Transcend team. So we've locked in a couple familiar faces to join the team. I assume, Vicky, you're in, right?
I saw my name there, and I'm assuming so too.
Yeah, okay. You didn't reply to any of the messages, so I just assume you're in. You didn't say no, so...
No, that's fine, yeah. I'm happy to do it, yeah.
So we're just needing to lock in one more person. So if you're interested, please let us know. And then hopefully we can pick one. And hopefully we can, do a pretty good job, get a podium, run really fast.
Some good names in that team. I'm definitely going to be the one bringing up the rear, but yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. But you are, aren't you the reigning Sand Queen still, technically?
Yeah, but that's just because nobody else showed up. It isn't because I'm any good.
We're just going to give you the sandiest leg.
Yeah. Is there a sandiest leg?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The sand panel was not soft sand. It was very packed sand. So it was literally because nobody else turned up.
Yeah. You've got a triathlon background, right? I reckon leg 2 might be good for you.
Because of the swimming aspect?
Yeah. Swimming, the mudslide.
Yeah. I can do mud.
Yeah, you could do mud, yeah.
Shared how much I loved the muddy cross country, so yeah.
Leg 2 it is. Yeah. All right, let's get into Weapons of Warp, Chris.
Yeah, so I guess very regular Warp nominee Matt Neves finally hit 10K for the year, which took him roughly 914 hours to do for the year, which is really special. I think he did that on a 50-odd K run, which in itself is crazy, but that's a like twice weekly thing for Matt. At least. So congratulations, Matt, on doing that. That is absolutely bananas. Glen Smith won the 18-kilometre Baldivis Invitational with a strong field of one, which I saw. Very good sense of humour, Glenn. Thank you. I'm going to call David Nguyen, Brennan Hon and Eric Nguyen for travelling all the way to Taipei to escape the Perth summer and run a scenic Taiwanese course only to discover that the weather was almost identical to Perth Running Festival in October, and the course had strikingly similar features such as a long stretch of open freeway, riverside running, and a distinct lack of on-course entertainment. I guess corporate sports doing their thing in Taipei too. Great to see. Hilariously, David shared with us the 3-kilometre medal, which he ran on Saturday, and then the 42.195-kilometre medal. They were identical medals. They just had 2 different numbers on them. They both looked impressive, but he could have saved himself a whole lot of heartache and just run the 3K instead. Look, guys, if you're ever wanting to save a little bit of money and a little bit of pain, head to runbunbury.com.au for...
Very good segue.
A fantastic event here in WA. Macca's AI coach, it looks like Smithy might be out of a job. I've also seen that Macca's on the nicotine patches, so I'm not sure what all that's about. But make of that what you will. Simon, please explain the AI coaching because I haven't seen that one on Graham. Sorry.
Oh, no. Like I just saw a post this morning where it seems like they're releasing some sort of AI coach, and that was my instant reaction was to message Smithy to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, very good. I'm sure he's still got a host of athletes under his belt. I saw James Payne actually ran that park run on the weekend at down at Sir James Mitchell Park.
Yeah,
he seemed to have lost the sole of one of his shoes about a K in. and finished the rest of that run. It looked like an old pair of Vaporfly 2s or maybe.
Yeah. It looked that way.
And he looked like he'd finished with like a spike on one foot and a super shoe on the other. So to still run 16:52 is bananas, and looks like he went straight to the shops and bought a pair of Brooks Hyperion Elites for only $100. So the timing was impeccable. Congratulations, James. Shaun Hall. Shaun was in the UK wanting to go out for a 50k run. He accidentally stopped his watch after 15k's, but because he wanted a continuous 50k clean activity, Strava activity, he just ran another 50k's anyway, totaling 65 kilometres for the day, all sub 5 minute pace, which is mental stuff. Not sure what to make of that, but it does leave. I guess that's something we were talking about pre-record, guys, is that often these weapon noms are men, and it's not because we don't see amazing things done by women. We've called out many women on the podcast for their non-weapon-like behaviour, but often men's behaviour just seems to be completely fucking stupid and irresponsible. And Shaun just goes to show exactly that again with us. So, no, Shaun, congratulations on your nomination. Now, because it is the end of the year and we've had lots of fantastic nominations this year, I guess we just wanted to highlight maybe 5 fantastic ones that we have seen in no particular order, and maybe we can put this to the listeners next week on the gram to see whose weapon was their favourite weapon of the year. I'm going to start with Jamie Back. He went to the Hyson Ultra Marathon over in South Australia a couple of months back. He walked 67 kilometres on foot overnight from the airport to his destination in the days leading up to the race. It was through the rain, he ran, I think, 86 kilometres of the race, but unfortunately DNF'd. His feet were basically sheets of blisters, which put Kate Baker's Margaret River Ultra foot picks to the shame. Not only that, he actually post-race walked 24 kilometres from his hotel back to the airport. So, that was kind of one of the greats of the year, probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And look, Phil Gore obviously set the world record in the backyard ultras, winning bigs, and he had a massive penis drawing as well, which was good to see. Not sure if that's a reflection of what Phil's impressions are of his own manhood, but
Let's not cut that bit where you say Annie had a massive penis.
I know Simon's going to get up to all sorts of hijinks. So. But no, Jamie might have Phil's number there. Belinda Neo almost dropped a deuce midway through a park run back in Gallup back on episode 81. Pamela and Michaela from WMC for hooking us up with a ticket last minute. They're always there to help everybody, not just us, whenever you want to change distances on an event, or you're seeking a last minute entry, or so you get put on the wait list, or we're looking for a start list for any given major event in the running calendar. Pamela and Michaela are always there for us, so thank you to them. And of course, Sarah Paduano, former guest of the show, running the whole of Great Britain, back when we had her on, I guess probably 7 or 8 episodes ago, I'm going to say. So yeah, Sarah, I think we saw Sarah out at the Bix run a couple of weeks back, Simon, so that was good. But yeah, so that's our top 5 for the year, I guess, guys. If there's anything out there that you've seen that we haven't listed, that you think tops any of those, by all means, please let us know. But if you could, we'll put a poll up and see who wins the weapon of the year. And I don't know, maybe there'll be a little prize coming that person's way. I'm not exactly sure what that might be at the moment. But
what prize do we have?
But how we will get it to them? Maybe I'll bake them some brownies, or
sure.
Maybe we'll take the winnings from that Bix bet that we made back with the Easy Double guys back in April, and give that to the winner of the weapon of the year. So I think we're still expecting 6 gels or something like that. I can't remember what the number was.
I feel like despite it being mentioned several times throughout the year, they've still yet to to pay back. Like I joined their that circle app thing that they had going on, and even like on my profile just went, I'm only here for my Bix gels, and it's still they still didn't reply. They've mentioned this several times on their podcast, and they still haven't paid back. So maybe we'll send a polite message.
Reminder. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
everyone's back running now, so they've got absolutely no excuse. I guess one that we didn't mention there, which probably makes up the sixth, is, and you speaking of Easy Double, is Ryan's Five Waters Running Festival. That was one of the all-time special moments, I reckon, of the podcast. And yeah, hilarious to hear their reflections on it on their own. So good stuff, guys. It's been a wonderful year. Great to see everybody trying to outdo each other consistently, irresponsibly, and hopefully that takes us into 2026 with some big goals, no doubt, for many people. And yeah, just stay safe out there, guys, and keep your tax advice and your coaching advice and your notes about methamphetamine use to yourself off Strava. So that's me for now.
I'll add one more weapon because we mentioned Kate's name. Kate didn't she do Adelaide Marathon, take out the win, and then the following week came second Margaret River Ultra, and I think she was only 7, 8, 9 minutes behind the eventual winner. Forgot her name, but she's the one that holds the 24-hour Australian track record. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's definitely up there in weapon behaviour.
For sure. Big time.
Yeah.
Nicely balances out the male-to-female ratio as well.
Yep. Win-win. All right. Well, that is what was meant to be a nice, easy 1 hour record has become 90 minutes. So very good job. Nice. Thank you both for a wonderful 2025. Hope you all stay safe. I don't think we've decided when we'll be back. 2 weeks, I think, was the plan. Maybe.
It's like the 12th or something, I think we said. I can't remember exactly. But
let's go 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see. 2 weeks.
And thank you both. Thank you both for letting me bully you into being here. And particularly to Simon, because I know that you have a really late night every Monday because you edit this thing after edit's maybe a strong word. But you know.
Because of that.
But you do so much work. You both do, but you do so much work on a Monday night to get this out on a Tuesday morning so that people can listen to it on their Tuesday morning run. So, yeah, thank you for everything you do.
No, thank you for joining us as well. I think you must have passed your probation review now, right?
Absolutely. Now it's time to talk permanency. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've passed.
Yeah.
Okay. We could have put it to a vote. And I don't know. I haven't had any feedback that I've had any complaints yet. So maybe that ticks me off.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
Yet.
Yes, I look forward to your first complaint. It's going to be fun.
I'm sure, yeah.
Whenever that happens. All right, let's leave it at that. Thank you for joining us this year. We'll see you in 2 weeks. You can reach us on Instagram at WRunningPod. Our email address is wrunningpodcast@gmail.com, and our Strava group is Warp. Thanks for joining us for 2025, and we'll see you next year. See ya. So should I edit you saying Phil has a massive penis and just insert it right here?
Massive penis.
You're doing the work for me. I don't have to edit it.
I feel like we've said it 3 times now, 4 times. So
it's going to be funny because doesn't Sarah Paduano read the subtitles of our episodes?
Yeah.
So she's going to just see penis.
Yeah.